Hello and welcome CMT Stuttgart. I have in front of me a Sprinter off-road vehicle, sort of thing it's done by Hymer, for example, the Grand Canyon. Only this one here, called the Aventuro 600, is made by Clever Vans. Clever Vans is a cheap brand of a cheap brand. Part of Pössl, meant to be cheaper vehicles, and then for some reason they decided they needed to do them even cheaper, so they came up with Clever Vans. Clever Vans was the company which only 3 years ago came up with a €30,000 Citroen van conversion, and now it's got this, which costs €108,000, 6 meters. Well, it's a bit less than 6 meters. It's a Sprinter, and so it's five. Doesn't say that it's length here, but it's five. It does not. It's 593 centimeters in length. But there, €109,000 for this. Now, the problem with this is, I think, in my opinion, one of marketing, because given the choice of having this for 109 or Grand Canyon from Hymer for around 125, one might think that Hymer's got a name, and of course you'd be paying the extra for the name. But now, as I walk through this vehicle though, obviously I don't really know what's under it, because with my videos effectively all you see is the cosmetic bits. Well, not entirely cosmetic, it's a bit unfair perhaps on myself, but you see also the bits that you'll be using. But as I walk around, it seems to me to be quite well made. Let's see if I break anything whilst I'm doing this. So a large compartment, it hasn't got a ledge there, so things will fall out. What's this here? Anything around there? No, that's being used as well. Very good. Look at the size of this, if you can. So I might have to take it out a bit. There we go. That's better, isn't it? Look at the size of this flare. Absolutely enormous. We'll have a look at that from the outside. You might like that. You might think it's great. You might think it is horrible. But we'll have a look, then you decide. No flare, apparently, on this side. Question I often get is, where do you sit up in bed? I'm afraid all I can think of is against the doors. I don't know. Now, in the Grand Canyon, the doors are not insulated. So we'll have a look and see what the situation is here. Right, now, this washroom, okay, it's only got one drainage point, and it's not the size that I like. That's the domestic size. But other than that, bearing in mind the size of this vehicle, there's a lot of space in there. The Sprint is particularly difficult to build with. Now let's come into this and see, can I get in the shower? Okay, it's a bit of a squash, but then again, given the size of it, I think it's always going to be a bit of a squash. Having a look down there, and there's a window, so the people in the campsite can keep an eye on what's going on in here. I think things like this, as I've said in many other videos, they look really nice in a top class hotel. They don't look, not very practical in a motorhome, in my opinion. Of course, they do actually allow you a bit more space, because that way, you see this bit here is now used, rather as if it had been sunk, then you'd lose that as storage. Unless of course that came up higher. Oh, okay, kitchen block. It's relatively standard, has 2 burners. There we have the sink. We have the drawers below, of course. Now I found a problem. Ooh. This is tight, but it's a quality drawer. It's not like some of the IKEA offcuts that some brands are using. Also, I do like this indirect lighting. We've got a step up to the bed, and what I think is a particularly good idea is having only one seat here, which allows all this space. At the end of the day, this is a 2-person vehicle, and I think the passenger is probably moving from there to there. I mean, when you eat, you probably want to eat face to face, And so that is also something, I think this has been very well done. The table will come out, should you so require, when you're actually, I don't know, moving. You might want to put this chair further back. I don't think there's a belted position there. If there is, though, if there's a belt, I can't see it. Right, storage up here. Oh, plenty of space above here, so as you come in and out, and down here, domestic fridge, which which opens both ways. And guess what? It's supposed to open this way as well, but there's a problem with the pin. I can tell that from here. Of course, and that's not necessarily a fault of Clever Vans. It could have been broken by somebody messing around with it. Maybe I came in a little bit earlier and busted the pin. That's always possible, isn't it? Here, this thing here, mosquito net, absolutely essential. And Hymer also uses these things here for storage in that. What Hymer calls, I think it's a clever wall, or something like that. Right, come out to the back and let's have a look at the amount of space in here. Now, with any camper van, what will happen is you can always put this up here. This will come out, that will move up. That's absolutely standard, but it will give all of this space below. Note also that divider will come out to give more space there. I think this is meant to be for a fire extinguisher or something like that. I don't know. And here we'll find space for just one. Oh no, sorry, for two cylinders. There you are. It's got its mark of approval. Now, to come back to my earlier thought, it's a bit like Rolls-Royce doing a cheap vehicle or something like that, thinking it's going to sell. When you do something with a cheap brand, you're losing the function of what your product is, I think. And so this here is particularly, it seems to be quite well made. This is a pop-out. It's not a flare, so that will go back into the vehicle. Okay, it's called a slide out here. Okay, slide out, pop out. A slide out's usually bigger, whereas the pop out was a word Westfalia coined for something that just pops out. Okay, we can call it a slide out if you want. Obviously, that slide out there will go in when the thing is in motion. Now, the benefit of this slide out or pop out is that when the vehicle is moving, you don't have that extra bit coming out, and that might be a benefit for some people. Now, because look at, first of all, the first thing is the size. You'll see that if I stand here, I think it's visible that comes out much further than the footprint of the vehicle. It offers more space for the feet in the back of the vehicle, particularly useful for taller people. At that level, the width of the Sprint is only around 165 centimeters, approximately. I think it was 163 measured it once, approximately, because it depends on the height where it is at, and in that case we can't quite see it exactly. So I would suggest that is in itself an interesting variant on anybody thinking of buying the Grand Canyon. The problem is, though, it's the Clever Vans name, as I said earlier. I know it's a branding thing. I don't quite understand why they did it under this name, not do it under Pössl or some other name. There's a number of companies. Adria's also brought something up, but of course Adria does have top-of-the-range vehicles as well. So vehicles costing in excess of 200,000 euros. But anyway, the thing is, with something like this, the real proof is in how it drives, how it is. Now, the drive part, the engines, it's from Mercedes. Are there parts that needed to be converted for the use as a camper van? Are there parts inside which aren't tough enough to be in a 4x4 camper van? That I don't know. And the only way of finding that out is to actually take it out and give it a hard going over. The other brands as well, just mentioned, EuraMobil's got something called an X-Tourer, but all of these are far more expensive than this one. This by far is the cheapest van in its class. How many they've made, I don't know. This might be the only one. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you found that interesting. I've done my best to give information. If there may be questions on it, and I probably won't know the answers to them. But if anybody has tried and can add more to it, then do say. Oh, I did forget one thing to do, didn't I? I said I'd see if there was insulation at the back. Is there? We'll soon find out. You know what? I don't think there is, but I'm not certain. No, there isn't. Anyway, I suppose I wasn't expecting it to be there anyway. Okay, thanks very much for watching. I hope you found it interesting. All the best from me. I'm in Stuttgart. I'm filming lots of things here. So if you're interested in also news I'm trying to give on what's happening in the campervan market, or motorhome market in Europe at the moment. So for the moment, all the best from me. Bye for now.